Yeah, I thought they handled the emotions of the day really well, and it was emotional. It was emotional for a lot of guys. I saw it in Rienk. I certainly saw it in Sam. I got emotional out there. It was a those guys have done so much for us, and let me give a quick shout out to Kendall Blue, who I'm telling you, his attitude throughout this entire process has absolutely been phenomenal. And Kendall's a hell of a player. I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him. So Kendall, Jared, who's been in and out of the rotation. Obviously, I thought Jared gave us good minutes out there today, and then Jamarcus, being here for a year and coming back, or 2 years and coming back. I mean, it's just these guys have done so much for our program. So to have to handle the emotions of the day, which I know is a big part of this night. It says a lot about them, not only as the type of players they are, but the type of people and the type of character that they approach their daily lives with. So, really proud of all 5 of those guys. And, as far as the game, yeah, it was, they're so disciplined in everything they do. I don't think Sturtz's pulse gets above 70. I mean, he's just so incredibly steady out there and makes plays. It makes really hard plays look easy. That's a sign of a true a really good point guard. And, obviously they shot the ball. Combs was unbelievable out there. And Koch, I mean, those guys, the role players played really well today. But I'll say this, we didn't meet our defensive goals in the last 2 media timeouts, but I give our guys credit for regrouping and finding a way after a really tough stretch there at the end. We missed 2 1-on-1s. We couldn't secure a rebound that led to the last Combs 3 to tie it. And our guys found a way to regroup, and then we did hit our goal, in those last in the 5 minutes of overtime. So I give our guys a lot of credit, and then Cale obviously stepping up and making those 2 huge shots, just kind of capped it off.
What was the mood just in the huddle after regulation? How did you guys see guys?
Yeah, you know what, Wilson, there was no head hanging, and the guys were very businesslike, and the guys that missed the rebound and missed the free throws, they had a very stoic look on their face. So the guys found a way to to recover after the tough stretch there at the end, and give Iowa credit. That's what they do. They play with a tremendous amount of poise, and they found the hot hand. But our guys made really, really big plays all throughout that 5 minutes extra session.
Fred, after a West Coast trip and then you go overtime today, how do you think this plays for you as they've had the 4 days off before you go to the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, our guys, they're fine. I thought they handled the prep very well this week after a disappointing finish to the road trip. And we because of the rule, the NCAA rule, when we got off the plane, we came straight to practice. And we had a lengthy film session, cleanup of the UCLA game, and then did a first look on Iowa. And then we took Thursday off and then practiced Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, hell, I don't even know what day it is, Friday, Saturday, leading into the Sunday game here. So, I give our guys a lot of credit for how they prepared, not just for this game, but they've done it all year. And after a disappointing loss, disappointing performance, we added some new things. I thought we did a good job getting Price the ball in the block, which we haven't done a lot of this year, and we got him underneath the basket in just a simple floppy type action and freed him up for a couple of shots. But we really traded baskets, and I was unbelievably defensively. You saw what they did to us a couple weeks ago at their place, and our offense was pretty good today. But defensively, we got to be better than that. It's what's carried us all year. And again, I give our guys credit for finding a way in those last 5 minutes to get that edge back.
You mentioned Cale. All 8 guys and stuff on the floor ended up scoring. How big was just getting that depth of production when they're going to crush you and just try to take Price away?
Yeah, it was very important, and Cale, I thought our guys made really good plays, and Cale had no hesitation, stepped right up there and knocked down the biggest shots of the day for us, and they were hugging Price and making life difficult for him, but I thought the other guys stepped up. Rienk had a really nice little jump hook in there to get us started in overtime, and then it became the Cale Jacobsen show.
Coach McCollum mentioned the defensive effort you guys put against Ben Sturtz in particular, that threw him off. Was that your priority for the 1-2-3, just containing him as much as possible?
Yeah, I mean he's as good a point guard as there is in the country, and he just like I said, his ability to make plays, and you just have what we talked about with him was we didn't want to give up dip threes, so we were trying to run him off the line and then have a second defender there, and then we were going to rotate out of it. And they made us pay on a few of those with some shots that they hit or some dump offs. But Sturts is so good at hitting those shots, especially in crunch time. I thought we did a good job of crowding him, and then to his credit, he made a lot of really good plays out there. When he wasn't scoring it.
Obviously had to play two complete halves plus another 5 minutes, and it seemed like there was never any time where it was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that going into? I know there's a Big Ten tournament to play, but going into the NCAA tournament to have that experience here at the end.
Yeah, I is it going to benefit us? I don't know. But to have to find a way to rally when things weren't looking great there at the end is it is good experience. You can't simulate that stuff. We played it off that way. We wanted to get that experience. I'm just kidding. But it, for our guys to find a way to rally, that was huge. And you're going to have to do that. You have to play through adversity in the tournament. I told our guys, everything you work for going all the way back to June when Kurt Joseph was crushing them in the weight room and all the conditioning sessions, it's for this time. It's for this time of year. This is what it's all about. And this is the fun time of year. And our guys, I told them in the locker room, they made history again today by having the highest seed ever in the Big Ten with the 2 seed. We had a 3 seed a couple of years ago, but they continue to make history with this program, and this is the fun time. But nothing's given. It's one and done time of year, so you got to be on point. Your focus has to be extra. I didn't like our focus going into the UCLA game as much as what it had been, but we got that back this week, and now we're going to have to keep it for as long as we play.
The decision to, have the players come back out of the locker room, do a lap around, I guess, could you speak a little bit of just how much this place and the fan base has really transcended as the team has continued to take off?
Yeah, 100%. I wanted our guys to come out and just make sure they thanked all the fans that have made this a really special season. They've been here, and it's not just the Big Ten games. I mean, they've been here going all the way back to the BYU game. And it's just been a really special season, a fun team, I think, to pull for our fans. And I just wanted our guys to make sure they went out there and thanked the fans for really helping us have a special season here at PBA.
What do you think allowed you to find your offensive rhythm a little more in the second half?
It's a good question, Wilson. I'll go back and watch it, but I thought we freed up Price on a couple shots. I thought we got downhill and we finished better. I thought we quick shot at the basket in the first half a little bit too much. But we did a much better job of going in there under control and making the right play in the second half.
How important was it for Rienk to get some momentum behind the arc and a couple threes hanging in?
Yeah, those are huge. He hit 4 of them in practice yesterday, so I think it's just for him. He feels really good physically. Just a matter of time, before he took the lid off of it, and it was good to see him knock down a couple. Hopefully, give him some confidence heading into the postseason.
Cale, it was obviously more than just overtime. He had the steal against Sturts late when you were up 4 and made it through traffic to hit a bucket. Why is he so good in those moments?
Cale's got great hands. He does a really good job of swiping down and getting deflections on the ball really before it gets above the offensive player's waist, and he's just got a knack for the ball. He and Sam are 2 leading deflections guys. BK's up there as well, but Cale he's got unbelievable hands. He's got great instincts, great anticipation, and that was a huge play.
How meaningful was it a pregame as well to have the whole family out there for Sam? I know you said you weren't sure how you were going to react.
Yeah, it was definitely emotional, and the Spurs flew Jack back. And he's surprised. We had dinner at the house last night with both of his grandmothers, and our daughter flew in the day before. And Jack surprised him last night. And Jack's been so instrumental in Sam's career when he first got the opportunity to be in the rotation and play. Sam had a very similar path as a walk-on that earned a scholarship that got an opportunity to play in some pretty big games. So Jack's been huge, and they talk every day with Charlie. And to have everybody out there was really special. And, my wife gets all the credit for this whole thing, for how she just kept everything intact. And, I'm on the road, I'm playing, she raised them a lot of times on her own during the basketball season. And, she deserves a lot of credit for the type of kids that we've raised. And, I'm really proud of all of them. Yeah, we're still figuring that out. I'm going to talk to our captains and see how they want to approach it to see if we want to take tomorrow off or if we come in and do the similar thing with film and with walkthrough, putting in a game plan, or if we want to give them the day tomorrow and 3 days. So I don't know yet, but the good thing is we'll have a little bit of time to recover.
Yeah, I thought we held our emotions in check before the game. Everybody was focused. Everybody was locked in to start the game. You saw that we both game planned very well. A little rough start on offense, but both defenses were locked in. Yeah, and then towards the end of the game with the crowd and everything, I'm proud of the guys, the way they handled, especially going into overtime and staying poised and taking care of business in overtime.
Cale, what's going through your mind on those 2 corner threes you stepped into those?
It's pretty open, so it's one of those where you have to shoot it, and felt confident, stepped into it, and just knocked it down. So.
Rienk, what did you say about Cale's performance, especially in crunch time with plays he made up both
Mm-hmm.
ends?
I told him in the second half, hey, we're going to need you to knock one down because they were kind of helping off of him. And he came up huge in that overtime. I was so glad you hit those threes. That made me so happy. He was great. He was great.
How important was Cale's 8 rebounds and Rienks' 7 kind of to lose some pressure?
Yeah, at Iowa, they kind of dominated us on the glass at times. Today they did as well, but I think we got some very timely, necessary rebounds, especially there in overtime. They were huge at just cleaning up. I know I try and keep those bigs out of there, and it's always great if I got a guy locked up and then I see one of my guys just flying by me and grabbing one. We got to get it as a team. That's the most important thing. So Cale and Price were huge in that.
For you, what you've gone through last year, coming back this year, you guys tied the most wins in Huskers history today. Seeing that you guys going to bring them along around the court. What are those emotions you're going through?
I got a little emotional there after the game. It's been a long journey and it's been really rewarding. Last time today in PBA was, and to close it out this way, you want to win on your senior night, and I'm so happy for all the seniors on our team that we did that and we closed it out the right way at home. I didn't think I was going to be that emotional after the game, but it was pretty cool with all the fans. Just to have that moment.
What was the mood like in the huddle for either of you just at the end of regulation, got into overtime? Are you guys able to reset?
Yeah, just take a deep breath. Obviously, we were in a position where we probably didn't want to be in overtime, and we would love to handle those last, whatever it was, 3 or 4 minutes better. But the situation was what it was, and with everything that was going on, with it being senior day, these guys' last chance, we just had to take a moment together and take a breath, refocus, and really just lock in on the defensive end. They were kind of carving us up down the stretch, and so we knew that was going to be where we won in overtime, and to hold them to 5, obviously that meets our goal that we have for every 4-minute media timeout. We just had to take a breath and reset and refocus going into overtime.
Cale, defensively, you guys held Bennett Sturts to 11 points and just 4 points over second half in overtime. What was the plan against him, maybe compared to what it was in Iowa City, and how well do you guys execute?
Yeah, the guy's unbelievable. 45 minutes is normal for him, right? But just the amount of attention that he draws is pretty insane. You always have to know where he's at. And I think that Sam and Jamarcus spent a lot of time on him, and then our bigs, you have to give a lot of credit to our bigs too, because they're so at the level in the pick and roll. A lot of times it's 2 on the ball and you're guarding them with 2 people. But then, I don't know. He's tough. We really didn't want to give him dip threes, right? When he's in his isolation and his pick and roll, don't let him step you off and get up a 3-pointer. But he's a handful.
Rienk, how much the fact that you guys have to finish this out in overtime sort of epitomizes the senior group and the team, just the fact that nothing's really come easy to you guys in your career, and sort of had to end it the same way.
It's a tough group. We've been through our battles. We've been through pretty shitty years. I've heard stories of Sam from his first year of where the program was, and it's been a grind to get it where it is right now, and to grind it out in overtime, like you said, it's a testament to the type of character that is on this team. Just got some hard-nosed guys that, they want to win really bad, and we've been so together this whole year. So to finish it out together and have everybody step up there, that was great.
Cale, there's obviously a lot going on today with Senior Day. The fact that it was Iowa, it's been a long time since you beat them, and it kind of goes beyond basketball with these two schools. How much was that factor for you guys in just like playing into the tension that was in the arena for 45 minutes?
Yeah, we didn't really want to talk about it. If you can't get up for this game, for a senior night game against a rival, you're probably not in the right business in basketball. This is one that you don't even have to talk about the emotions that come with it. Everybody kind of knows. And so, I think we had 2 good days of prep, and we needed this one, right, just to get back on track before the Big Ten tournament, to bounce back from that UCLA game where we didn't play up to our standard. There was a lot of things that went into it that didn't really need talking about with this group because we know what the stake was.
Yeah, you had 2 big games to start off the month of March here. You obviously had the crown last year. What is it about this month that really gets you fired up?
I don't know. It's a good question. It's cool. Super special just to be able to, these guys didn't want to lose this game on their senior night, but we didn't want them to lose the game on the senior night just as bad. We all get another chance. But it meant a lot to our whole group to send these guys out on the right note. And so, I don't know. Hopefully we can keep it going, but good point. I don't know.
Yeah, Cale, similar question. Just a game like you had tonight, how much does it show how much your game has grown since you got here?
Yeah, like I kind of said before, but it's just all about taking advantage of opportunities. Late in the game, I had some open shots and had to shoot it with confidence and knock it down. But just when the opportunity comes, that's what we talk about all the time with our group. And it could be in the in overtime of a game in March, or it could be in June when you have to step up onto another practice court for the first time. Everything's an opportunity, and just being ready to take advantage of those.
Cale, at the end of the game, you gave the ball to Sam to wind up the clock. I guess what prompted you to do that, and was that kind of indicative of just what he's meant to you in this program?
Yeah, Sam has been through it all, and he's been a consistent force for us through it all. You always know what you're going to get from Sam, and that's heart. You're going to get toughness. And that just kind of felt like the right thing to do. He had earned the right to dribble that ball out on his home court for the final time. And he just continues to fight for our team. And I know it means a little bit, maybe more when your dad's the head coach, but I promise he would be the same. He would fight the same way no matter who was in charge. And so, just to give him that moment to soak it all in for the last time was cool.
Anything else for these guys? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Handling all that came with today's game.
Yeah, it was tough. You almost start tearing up watching those videos and just thinking about all the good memories and how that's kind of over. But I just kind of just told myself really to lock in. That's all I said. And I felt like I stayed pretty level. And it was tough to not get caught up in all of it. But I think the emotions kind of came out in the last minute or so when I was really getting fired up out there. And that was the best way for them to come out.
What can you say about Cale's performance for that?
I mean, he was awesome. I feel like Cale's been through a little bit of what I went through with just the ups and downs of confidence on offense. So it's so good to see him step up and make some huge shots. And he's such a good player. And if he can keep playing confident like that, I think he makes us so much better of a team.
When Cale gave you the ball to dribble it out at the end, just what was going through your mind as the clock ran out and you heaved the ball?
I mean, it was, like I said, a lot of the emotions kind of came out in that moment. You kind of suppress those, and that's what we were told to do so we could go and get the job done. And I think we got a little ahead of ourselves at the end of regulation and slipped up a little bit. But, I think we just kind of willed that one out in overtime. I did not want to leave this place without winning the last game here, and same goes for the goals we have ahead of us.
Sam, this game was 26th win, matches most
This one's going to be hard to beat in terms of my games here at PBA. You know, I always think the Purdue game was amazing. I felt like that was kind of a turning point in this program. That Wisconsin game was pretty fun too. Creighton this year was great, but yeah, this one just felt like I had so much on the line, and being the last game and kind of just a punctuation mark to this incredible career that I feel like I've had here. So yeah, this one's going to be tough to beat.
Rienk talked about this a little bit, but the fact that you guys had to grind this out in overtime, how much did it epitomize just the senior class of the team, just that nothing has really come easy for you guys as a group over your time here, and sort of had to win this game?
Yeah, he's exactly right. You know, our whole thing this season has been fighting adversity, and we've learned from past mistakes. Like last season, we rode kind of the ups and downs of playing well and playing bad, and that's where you saw us, those long winning streaks and long losing streaks. But this year has all been trying to stay level and just prepare for the next team. So, yeah, that is the same mindset you have to have when you give up a run like we did at the end of regulation, and you're able to kind of switch back into that mode where you're just ready to keep playing.
Sam, following up on what you said about how it felt like so much was on the line, did you get the sense that it was like that throughout the entire building today? Like, did you guys feel that tension within the arena? And how do you tune that out? How does that impact, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the best crowds I've ever been in front of. It certainly rivals that Purdue one, and I think that's probably the best one other than today. So they helped us a lot today. You know, we talk about how we've been so good at staying level, but the crowd certainly helps with that. At Iowa, they had that crowd advantage when we lost to them, and I think our crowd was such a big part of us getting that win today.
What would you just assess your performance?
I mean, I think it was a little bit up and down, but I've talked about it a couple times in other interviews. I just wanted to will this win, and I feel like I made some plays down the stretch. Cale made some plays that were just plays where you're not going to lose this game. Certainly had too many turnovers and fouled too much, but other than that, I feel like I just did kind of the things that got me in the rotation. A lot of steals today, and highest and plus minus. Those were kind of things I hung my hat on early in my career.
Earlier in the year, some of the wins were, you guys were really good. And speaking of the grinders, the last month, it seemed like August become more of a grind. I mean, even some of your wins, you guys got off the slow starts and had to come back in the second half and just kind of do everything you could to win. Is that teams catching up to you guys, or is there anything else going on?
I mean, if you look at the 20-0 we had, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. Like we had to grind out some tough wins. We're down big on the road to Indiana. We had really close games with Oklahoma and Kansas State, Illinois. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that we were like this ultra dominant team per se, but it's just our togetherness that helped us pull off so many wins. And there's been a little bit of slip in offense, and I think our bodies have gotten a little bit beaten up, but we're going to get refreshed now. You can't have that as any excuse for postseason play. This is where it becomes really fun. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think teams are necessarily catching up or like we're so far ahead at a certain point, but I think our togetherness and everything that we do, just all the little things, has been the reason we've gotten so many wins this year.
How was it to have Jack surprise you, and then also just that relationship with him having, important March Madness runs with Michigan State? Just how has that connection been helpful this season?
It was awesome. I had no idea that Jack was coming. Obviously, the NBA is a really busy time of year right now, and the Spurs are playing great, so shout out to them. But, yeah, I mean, I've honestly felt, and I talked about how I wasn't going to lose today, but just having all my family in town for this game, like, that was going to make me happy regardless of the outcome. They've just supported me so well throughout my journey. So it was so cool to have Jack come in today, and had a couple drives to the rim where we call those sneak drives when they're out pressuring me and we're trying to run a play, and I kind of just break it off and drive to the basket. Charlie came up and was kind of the messenger from Jack, because Jack was the one that told me to do that. So that also helped.
Sam, do you think that
walk-on Sam Hoiberg 5 years ago and would have thought a day like this was possible?
He would have dreamed it, and then he probably would have woke up and been like, that looks pretty awesome. I wish that could be real. But no. It was something that I would dream of and never thought it would be true. When you're listening to a song you like and you're kind of imagining every cool thing possible, like getting dunks and stuff, that was what would go through my head, just leading a team like this and making the crowd excited late in games. So, no, I don't think I ever thought this would come to this, and that's why it's been so rewarding.
Sam, obviously today was a special, emotional day, but the season's not, you guys hope, anywhere close to over. So how do you kind of transition from this emotional, momentum-filled day into a few more wins and get to your ultimate goal?
Well, fortunately, we've been here before now. A couple years ago when we went to the NCAA tournament, we had never been there before. We won against Indiana in the Big Ten tournament and then lost to Indiana, and then all that week was interesting. And we don't have a ton of guys that have played in the NCAA tournament on this team, but we have 5, and that experience is going to be helpful going into it. So we have to honestly just do what we've done all year. It's not like you just can't get caught up in all the smoke and mirrors of there's a ton of extra stuff that comes with playing in March Madness and in these postseason tournaments. So we just had to get back to focusing on winning. Focus was our word of the week, so we're going to keep staying focused.
4 things opened up offensively there at the end of the second half. How much more ready for you guys were physically mentally for a rock fight against this team that you sort of think you really do well in the first match?
Can you repeat the start of that?
Just before the offenses started getting going, just how mentally, physically ready were you guys for more of a rock fight type game like you guys had in times?
Yeah, that's what I expected just because it was like that in Iowa or at Iowa. Because they play really good defense, and our offense hasn't been as good lately, so you kind of expected you might have had to grind it out. But we did kind of get that swagger back offensively, and even though it was overtime, to put up 84 points on those guys I think is pretty impressive. And I thought we had a great offensive game plan, ran some stuff we hadn't ran all year that was really working and gave them some issues. So I thought we executed well, and playing with that swagger that we had earlier in the season was important to have.
How much do you think the maturity, toughness, connectivity of this team will help you now that you had to?
Yeah, I think that's as important as anything in postseason play is just being able to stay level and having so much experience in moments like today's game, for example. The team could have easily folded if they gave up a lead like that and went into overtime. They had all the momentum, and I didn't see a single bit of panic in our guys. So moments like that are just something you can build on and learn from, and this team is so old and experienced that, anything that comes at us in postseason play, we're going to be ready for.
Sam, I felt like found your offensive rhythm a little bit more in the second half. Just what do you think allowed for that?
Part of it was just not accepting their pressure. Banks was really getting up and trying to take away my passes, so I just drove it by him. And that was something Jack told Charlie to tell me, which was nice, but it was good to have him to say that. But, it was just looking for it and not accepting the pressure. And we ran plays to try to get Price in the post. And, if I was getting pressured so much to where I couldn't make that pass and to the point where he was going to let me drive, that was the better option. So, getting to the rim just by not accepting their pressure was really important for that.
All right, congrats to Nebraska. I thought they played a heck of a game, had a great game plan, super physical with us. They did a great job. I didn't think we did a great job from an offensive standpoint, just didn't take care of the ball like we needed to. But I was proud of our effort coming back, but, close is not good enough. So we need to continue to get better. It'd be nice to have our backs against the wall in the conference tournament, and we're excited to move forward.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, this was the most turnovers you guys have had since the last time you played Nebraska. Just what is it about their defense that you feel caused so many fouls for you?
They've got really good defense. They obviously rotate pretty good, fly around, they're able to get deflections. I just thought our offense was really inept too, kind of both. Sometimes you just got to be able to get to that next action, get off the ball, and continue. That's what we have to do. That's our That's how we have to survive. And we had a pretty good game plan coming in. I think we probably tried to risk a few too many passes, and that's just not what you need to do. You just have to really simplify things and make sure you make the easy pass. And I didn't think we made many easy passes tonight. And then, we did miss some good looks, I thought, in the first half. We had some good looks from good shooters, and, we didn't knock them down. But, again, credit to them and their execution of their game plan.
Did they do anything differently? It's kind of saying about that more.
Yeah, they brought the house every time he touched the ball. It was beyond belief. They just brought it, and then super physical with him, and so that's just how they did it.
Cale had one of his best games of the season. What was working so well for him today?
They were loaded so much to Bennett, and he obviously played great too. But they put a lot into trying to take Bennett away, and by the time we adjusted to it, which we should have adjusted earlier, it was too late.
Tavion did not start. Can you discuss that at all?
No, not really. we just trying to uplift the program, and I guess violation of the team rules, not a big deal, wasn't a huge deal, not a non-story really. Just more trying to uplift the program and get this thing where it needs to go.
What did you see that allowed you guys to get back in the game in the second half?
I thought we got to the rim better. Obviously, Cale got downhill a lot better. I thought we played a little more free. I don't think we passed the other team as much. I think we realized we were wearing black today, black jerseys, and so that was helpful. And then I thought we got some key stops throughout. But again, it's just a few mistakes where, we know the scout, we know exactly what direction they're going, and they kept going those directions. And that's pretty frustrating.
Cooper gave you a pretty good lift in the second half of his shooting.
Yeah, they were loaded so much to Bennett. He was able to get some free looks, and he manned up and knocked him down. He was awesome tonight. I thought he was good defensively. I thought he was competitive. I thought it was his best game of the year.
Can you walk through, I guess, just what you kind of saw in overtime on both ends of the floor?
Well, the first possession, we gave up a drive and kick, and generally we know that's what Sam does. Is he's really good at driving and kicking, and we overhelped. I think that was the first possession. I'm not totally sure. And then after that, we let the guy go to the direction that he drives. Two costly mistakes, and then offensively, we got stuck on the side too much, and didn't get it to the middle of the floor as often as possible. And so we just got to do a better job of getting buckets there.
Defensively, what were some of the big differences between the first and second half for you guys?
Yeah, I still didn't think we were great even the second half. I think we got more stops. Just didn't think we were didn't get good pressure on the ball. Didn't get good hand activity. Just weren't as good as usual.
Is there any way that the way that Nebraska was guarding Bennett, is there any way that this helps you moving into the postseason, seeing how much other teams might try to stop him and how you guys can adjust to that?
No, not really, because theirs is just really unique. It's just really unique, they're so heavy side, and you drive in middle and you run into their legs, and it's just like, where are you going to go? You can't really go anywhere. It's like, I don't know what to do. So then you drive baseline, but then they bring the double team, and so that's a problem. Maybe theirs is unique. Theirs is a really good defense. Like, it's really good. They do a great job with their execution.